Welcome to Pepsi Funtime Junior Bowling. Pepsi Funtime is brought to you by Pepsi, gotta have it, and the bowling proprietors of Western New York.
Everybody, and welcome to Pepsi Funtime Bowling on Empire Sports Network. This is Cliff Smith along with veteran local bowler Mike Caines. You've seen the best. Now you're going to see the rest and more. We got little kids, we got medium-sized kids and big kids on Pepsi Funtime Bowling, but the result is all the same. Some great bowling and a lot of fun too.
It is. They bowl their first 7 frames off camera, then they come on in the TV lights, and we've seen before some kids are real nervous, some kids that look like pros. Anything can happen.
And you know, sometimes it's the little kids who don't know the pressure who do better under the lights than the bigger guys.
Yeah, they have a good time. They're ready to go. They're hoping we're finished right now so we can start.
Yeah, and we're about ready to start, so you stay with us when we come back. Match number 1, the 9 and under, the Biddy Bowlers on Empire Sports. It's Pepsi Funtime Bowling from Island Lanes on Grand Island, New York. Stay with us.
Hey, you made it!
Sometimes the best test of yourself is to team up with others. There's something about pulling together that helps you do better on your own. Maybe it's because your effort helped somebody else. Maybe it's because it's not necessarily over just because you have a bad night. Or maybe it's because you never stand taller than when you stand together. League bowling at BPAA centers, it's a whole lot more than a game.
If you're looking for a chance to improve your bowling game, come on out and see the equipment and accessories at Mike Haynes Pro Shop in the Tonawanda Bowling Center. Mike's been a mainstay at the center since 1977, and as a past member of the PBA, he'll give you the prompt personal service you'd expect from a bowling shop. Mike's commitment to bowling shows when you see the selection and service available to you. He also specializes in fittings for juniors and novices. So check out Mike Haynes Pro Shop in the Tonawanda Bowling Center, just off the Colvin Extension in Tonawanda.
Combo. Check us out. Isn't it time you bowled at a Convo Bowling Center? We're waiting for you.
It's the little guys and gals, and here's Stephanie Pennick from Buffalo's Early Childhood Center at School 54, where she's in the 2nd grade. And the girl, this is an even match.
Right at the moment, yes. Not bad.
It's not always the speed. It's where the ball winds up, and some good count for young 7-year-old Stephanie Pennick. Mom and Dad are both working today. Dad Steppring is in the fencing business, and Mom works at Trench Manufacturing, where they make all those great Bills sweatshirts and caps. And boy, what a business that's turned out to be. Can you imagine?
You would think they just keep selling the stuff. You think it would slow down a little bit, but with the success the Bills have, it's a hot commodity.
Yep. Stephanie wants to be an English teacher someday, but I think she's got to put a little more English on the ball there to get that one. And her opponent is 7-year-old Lindsay Baker from Maple Mere Elementary in Amherst. She bowls out at Millshire. Current average is 94. Actually, it's up. That was last year's average. This year's is 127, so she's really increased it. And there's a good reason why, as the 7-pin prevents the strike.
Lindsay's parents are Hank and Cheryl, and they're both Classic League bowlers in their own right. And Uncle Tom Baker, that's a bowling name. So
yeah,
that's Hank's brother. So she comes from a bowling family, and she's much improved. They got a heavier ball for her this season, and boy, she's really bowled well. Look at this fuck.
Almost. Well, hey, Tommy's missed a few spares in his life too. Don't worry. And Grandma Rose Haig was here too to watch it, along with brother Kevin and his wife Tracy. Stephanie Pennick now. Good bowler, good swimmer. Takes a lot of time. Watch this. On target. And she got it. The big strike for the little girl. And the crowd loves it here at Island Lanes. Stephanie Pennick. It took a while to get there, but boy, when it did, she got what she wanted.
Don't have to see that in slow motion. It's already in slow motion.
It already is. Now, can Lindsay Baker bounce back with her own strike? Thought we had it for a minute.
Lindsay's pretty advanced bowling-wise for a 7-year-old. She's a big kid, and she's strong, and she's, you know, her parents have taught her the fundamentals, and she
looks a little bit like Tom. Look through the face. Oh, yes, especially in the eyes and the nose. Oh, very much so. I think so.
There's a good spare. No.
Well, the idea was good. Stephanie gives her a nice hand for trying, and back she comes. Stephanie's lifetime high game is a 90. She's got a 3-game 290. Wow. Not too bad. Whoops. You won't get any 290s with that. Yeah. I suppose when you're starting out a young bowler, you work on the follow-through, huh? A little bit?
Well, yeah, you want to get them, you know, especially if you're not taking a full approach, you want to just, you know, make sure they reach out towards the pins, towards the head pin, keep their thumbs straight up. That's the best thing to start with. But as soon as they're this age, they should be taking a, you know, a 4-step or 5-step approach. It's very hard to get any better and learn this way.
This one's going to go the other way, and
a 1.
Just clips off a pin. And Lindsay says, uh-oh, I'm back on.
Well, Lindsay just needs some count now, because, like you said, no winners, no losers.
Nope, and we don't emphasize the scores here either. That's why we almost never mention them.
There's a
fun
strike.
On Ben. She gets a strike. How about that? A couple of 7-year-old girls come out here and throw strikes on TV. That's something a lot of the big kids don't do.
Well, Lindsay did well. She hit the pocket all 3 times.
Boy.
That's better than her parents do.
That's better than her uncle does. Uh-huh.
I got to give Hank credit. Hank bowled his first 300 this season at Tonawanda in our league on Friday night, so he's been hitting the pocket pretty good, too.
I don't know. Maybe she ought to send Uncle Tommy some tips. Huh?
Yeah, she's a little squirt, I call.
Yep.
Slow to make this.
Got a lot of personality too. Both these girls do it, and they're just a joy to be with and to watch on Pepsi Funtime. This is the girls 9 and under, but as it turns out, a couple of 7-year-olds. She had the right idea. Stephanie says, "Nice going, lady." Now, our guys 9 and under, a 38-pin cushion for Matt Giacomini, who bowls out at Briarwood in Hamburg.
Going over.
Little too much. Patty Clinton is coach out there. His average is up 5 pins to 70 from last year. This guy's thinking about a career in bowling, among others. And he's got a big support group here. His dad Lou, mom Sue, grandparents, Mary and Walt Watson. And here's his opponent, Josh Parsons.
Here's Joshua.
Yep, from Niagara Falls. Goes to Mann Elementary. Bowls at Beverly Lanes. He was one of the stars of the Cayuga Little League. But not exactly a big hit right off the bat there. In fact, his grandma, Mona Parsons, got him started in bowling last year, and she's here today to check him out, check that progress a little bit. So we'll see. See her right in there. That's Mona. Josh Parsons now looking for that spare on 3. Had the right idea, just didn't work out. Matt Giacomini goes to Cloverbank School out in Hamburg. He loves football, basketball. He's a good swimmer, baseball player. You name it, he does it. Sister Julie was on the show, was a winner. You know, sometimes the first member of the family will get on this show and say, hey, it's not so bad. Next thing you know, kid brother or kid sister is going to try it.
Oh, sure.
Matt Giacomini. Has an interesting approach, and one that did not work that time. The action swings back now. A little Josh Parsons. Mom Tammy and Dad Jeff are here. Dad's a heavy equipment operator for Rust Environmental. Can Josh Parsons climb that 38-pin mountain? That's what he's got to do. Boy, we've seen some strange things happen, and some big margins go by the wayside when the kids come back on camera for frames 8 through 10.
But they need a few marks to make up some difference.
Yeah.
And right now, these guys just aren't.
He needs a spare.
Good shot. All
He's
right.
got a spare. And that'll put a little pressure on Matt Giacomini. The girls 10 and 11 to follow. Waiting in the wings, Amy Kolatz and Lindsay Rosenberg. Hey.
Hey, great shot.
Tell you, it's party time for Matt Giacomini. Parents told me he'd like to operate his own bowling center someday. He could be your boss someday. Imagine that when Len Pim retires and moves to Florida with
Well, I'll be retiring with him.
You'll be with
let me
him.
tell you.
Maybe you sell him the pro shop.
There we
Almost
go.
had himself a double and a nice hand for a nice game. Matt Giacomini. And I'll wrap it up here on 3. If you'd like to join us for our TV tapings, call Len Pim at Tonawanda Bowling Center at 694-4120. Find out where we're going to be, and then you make sure you be there. Got a shot at it. No. Just managed to nick it around.
See if Joshua here can finish up his 10th frame.
Yep, and he had a little traveling music to do it as well. It's amazing. Whoops.
Don't rush me, Joshua.
You may have to face the music there. Got a little more count than he thought. He heard that music and he said, wait a minute.
I was getting ready to change the station here.
Look at that. There it is. The 1, 2, 3, 5.
Yeah.
Just
the whole,
count them up.
Whole bunch.
Yeah. Howard Braymiller serving as our coordinator here today, our talent and crowd coordinator.
Our coordinator of talent.
That's right.
If only he had some.
That's the trouble. He's lamented that fact for years. Now,
Matt is the winner.
Matt is the winner. Now we'll hear some music and take a break, and when we come back, we'll have more Pepsi Fun Time for you. We're at Island Lane on Grand Island. Clip Smith with Mike Haynes on Empire Sports Network, the home of hometown heroes.
Sometimes the best test of yourself is to team up with others. There's something about pulling together that helps you do better on your own. Maybe maybe it's because your effort helped somebody else. Maybe it's because it's not necessarily over just because you have a bad night. Or maybe it's because you never stand taller than when you stand together. League bowling at BPAA centers, it's a whole lot more than a game.
Hey, you made it!
We've moved. St. Angelo's Restaurant and Bar is now roomier and exclusively located in the Tonawanda Bowling Center. Our newly remodeled dining room features daily specials and a full-service bar. Our Italian dinners are among the best around. Try our famous Build-A-Lunch for only $3.50. We carry a variety of takeout favorites, too. Don't forget to ask about our party and banquet facilities. Call 694-4231 or 833-7499. For great food, it's St. Angelo's, Tonawanda's hometown favorite.
Security, one of the main reasons you need a steel replacement door from DeGeorge. Stop by our showroom at 1049 Military and let our home improvement experts help you find the perfect door for your budget. Our steel insulated doors are designed to provide maximum security and are energy efficient. From entrance to storm doors, DeGeorge has a wide variety of styles to choose from, all backed by a solid staff of qualified installers, no subcontractors.
Stop in or call for a free estimate. We go where you are, no matter how far.
Back on Pepsi Fun Time Junior Bowling, Clip Smith, Mike Haynes from Island Lanes. The kids get older. Do they get bolder? We'll soon find out. Amy Kolaz up against Lindy Rosenberg. And not the start Amy wanted to make. Her mom and dad right here, Linda and John. In fact, her dad, John, is a corrections officer at Attica. Tough duty.
Okay.
Tough duty.
It sure is. That's...
So close, but so far. Lindsay Rosenberg now from Lockport's Charles Upson School. She's a 10-year-old fifth grader there. Bowls out at Allibrandt's, named for the man who held the 3-game record for seemingly an eternity. Look at this.
Look, everything but the head pin on him. I'm missing.
Jeepers.
You miss the head pin and you get everything but. That doesn't happen too often.
I guess not. Lindsay's into dancing, plays volleyball and soccer, loves arts and crafts, wants to be a teacher. Like her Aunt Anna Rosenberg, who's here today to watch her. And she got that spare, too. Let's go back to Amy Kolaz now. Almost. She's torn between being a veterinarian and a hairdresser. And I said, hey, if you open up one of those poodle grooming parlors, you could do both. You know? Sure.
Take pets and adults at the same time. This room. Change the scissors.
Yes, indeed.
Make sure you flea dip the right person.
It's the Mike Haynes brand of humor. Available only on Pepsi Fun Time and the Empire Sports Network. Which one? The Entertainment Network, huh? A&E? You know, well.
Oh, thanks.
From Comics Cafe.
Get over.
Lindsay Rosenberg.
Yes.
Nails a big strike, and there's her mom, Lori, right back there. Big hand. Her dad, Ray Rosenberg, standing in the background there. He wants to survey the whole scene. Now, you got it. Turnabout is fair play. So these ladies rolling strikes like you wouldn't believe.
See if you notice Amy's, here's what you don't, I mean, her last year's average is 110, her current average is a little bit lower. And usually that's the reason the kids are getting bigger and stronger, and probably the bowling ball stayed the same, and you become a little bit overpowering with the ball, and you're not as accurate.
That's right.
She'll bowl some good games, but her consistency is not as good. So You like to see improvement every year, and the first telltale sign is the equipment. You know, a little bit light. They start winging it too hard, and they lose their accuracy somewhat.
And that's a good thing for parents to
Just
remember.
like that. See
yep,
that?
see? That's concentration, ball too light.
She bowled a real good game, but she'll get better.
Lindsay Rosenberg started this match in the 8th frame, up 15 pins. Her coach out at Brant's is Gary Sterling. Yep, there's her
Get
dad,
over,
Ray.
get over. Oh.
Ray said, come on, man. Ray works at Harrison Radiator in Lockport. There was a time when just about everybody did. Although the workforce down a little bit now. Still a major employer, the major employer in Lockport. And her mom, Lori, works for Dr. Shaw in Lockport. I went to school with her mom. So.
Get going, no one. Well, Lindsay is our winner.
Yep, Lindsay Rosenberg from Lockport comes through with a big win, and now it's the boys. 10 and 11 as Eddie Jankowski takes on Justin Slayman. They call him Fast Eddie. And that's why he gets up and bowls a strike fast. Didn't have time to even give the facts and figures. He needs that strike because Justin Slayman is up 26 pins.
Yeah, we got that was Justin Slayman.
Now we got him straight.
Right, we
had
got
the
him
wrong.
we got him in the wrong order.
Wrong order.
This is Eddie.
All right. Well, we only say what is told to us.
Well, no, Justin's a good little bowler. He's 12-year-old. He's got a 146 average, and he's had a big game clip here. Off camera, he had all marks. He had a strike in the 7th, and that strike made him a double.
So for the record, this is
Eddie Jankowski.
There we go.
And he
ain't
gets
no
a good
slouch
hit.
either. You can almost transpose him. All right, Justin Slayman from Grand Island Middle School. He's a paper boy for the Buffalo News. See if he can carry this. Oh. You know what I like to see, Mike? The kids who've already bowled are still very much in these matches. They're hooping it up down there.
Sure.
Giving everybody the big hand and having a good time. That's what Pepsi Fun Time is all about. And you can't ask for much more than that. When was the last time you took your family out to some bowling lanes? Do it real soon. Probably the most inexpensive form of family entertainment, along with Buffalo Blizzard Soccer. I have to mention the team I serve as the voice of. And
little advertisement there.
A little plug there. That's all right.
We'll let you go.
Bowling and soccer, great combination. In fact, a lot of our bowlers, off it goes into the sunset. Eddie said, I'd like to have that one back. Eddie goes to PS 81 in Buffalo, rolls out of the Broadway Sports Center, likes video games, skating, basketball. In fact, I think it's nice. And, you know, you
Most
hear so
kids.
much about teachers today. And, you know, put their time in and take off. 2 of his teachers from PS 81 came out on their day off to watch him bowl. So, Mr. Logel and Mr. Dudziak. I think that's pretty special.
Oh, that's great. That's exceptional. That's
Yep. As a teacher's kid, I know teachers care. Look out, Justin. He may change his name from Justin Slayman to Justin Time. Or just in case, as the case may be.
Well, Justin has a pretty good bowling game going. He's got the good urethane ball already, wristband. He knows the scoop.
Look out.
Good
Because he
spare.
gets the spare, you know he does. And Justin having another look at things here. Parents are Cheryl and Emil. Emil works for DOT and Cheryl works at Trexair, which used to be Lindy, as I found out. Bit of a split there, but it shouldn't bother Justin. And here's past Eddie Jankowski.
184 scratch game, Justin just
wow.
bowled. That's excellent.
We're talking about a 12-year-old, folks. Not too shabby.
Not bad at all, that's for sure.
Coming at you. Eddie Jankowski from PS 81. So it's the city versus the burbs here.
The burbs.
The burbs. Let's see if Eddie can nail down this spare here. On 3. It's a 24-lane house. Art Malowitz runs. No, didn't quite make the grade. We'll be back to talk with some winners and some near winners in just a minute as Pepsi Fun Time continues from Island Lanes on Grand Island. This is Empire Sports Network, your home of hometown heroes.
Hey, you made it!
Sometimes the best test of yourself is to team up with others. There's something about pulling together that helps you do better on your own. Maybe it's because your effort helped somebody else. Maybe it's because it's not necessarily over just because you have a bad night. Or maybe it's because you never stand taller than when you stand together. League bowling at BPAA centers, it's a whole lot more than a game.
Combo. Check us out. Isn't it time you bowled at a Convo Bowling Center? We're waiting for you.
And this one's for all you country fans out there.
Seems like everybody's going country. And thanks to Eastern Hills Mall, you can too. Because we're offering a limited edition country music CD with today's hot young artists free for our first 1,000 shoppers with $200 in mall purchases. After that, it'll cost you $3.99, but it is a $15 value. So get a move on and get your free CD at Eastern Hills Mall, where holiday gift shopping's in the bag.
Take a look at the cream of the crop when it comes to the kids' Keglers. Everybody a winner here on Pepsi Fun Time. Our younger champions, Lindsay and Matt. And speaking of Lindsay's, we got one right here along with the Justin. Ladies first, okay, partner? That's the way it's going to be. Boy, you came out there like a house of fire, got the job done, won yourself a nice trophy. How do you feel?
Good.
Good? Is it a good It's always a good feeling to win, but it's even better when you're really in a tough match, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just got one more question for you, Lindsay. Your mom and I went to school together. How did she stay so young looking and I went the other way? Any idea? Huh?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so. You don't want to know either. You're a great champion. You got a nice trophy to show for it. And Justin, boy, 184 scratch game. Now, you told me your father got you started bowling, and now you beat him all the time?
Yep.
Is that any way to say thank you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. He'll probably thank you. He may make you give him that trophy. You're thinking about a pro? Never, right? You're going to hang on to that. Thinking about a pro bowling career maybe someday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. The money's out there. The opportunities are out there. You keep bowling like that, you're liable to be out there, and we'll be talking about you someday. They're all winners here on Pepsi Fun Time. When we come back, we'll go to the bigger kids. Sometimes the scores get bigger. Sometimes they don't. Anything can happen on Pepsi Fun Time. Usually does. Back in a minute with more on Empire Sports Network from Island Lanes on Grand Island. Stay with us.
Sometimes the best test of yourself is to team up with others. There's something about pulling together that helps you do better on your own. Maybe it's because your effort helped somebody else. Maybe it's because it's not necessarily over just because you have a bad night. Or maybe it's because you never stand taller than when you stand together. League bowling at BPAA centers. It's a whole lot more than a game.
Hey, you made it!
Sometimes getting there is half the fun, but sometimes it's half the problem. At Club Vacations Cancun, everything is smooth and easy. You can do it all in Cancun with complete 6- and 7-night packages, including airfare, starting at just $3.99. We offer the finest resorts like the Sun Palace, the Beach Palace, and the Cancun Palace. And Cancun can cost you less than a driving vacation or a cruise.
Very affordable. Actually, the price was awesome.
Book your Club Vacation Cancun trip now and get a free tropical island excursion when you mention this ad.
It's another big trip to Miami, and Thurman will discuss the rematch with the Dolphins at 7 p.m. on the Thurman Thomas Show at Treats Food Court in the Eastern Hills Mall. Thurman and co-host Bob Kaczynski will reveal the game plan and the questions from the audience on how to squish the fish. That's the Empire Sports Network taping of the Thurman Thomas Show, Tuesday night, December 14th at 7 p.m. in Treats Food Court in the Eastern Hills Mall.
Treats Food Court at Eastern Hills Mall.
We're moving on up to the bigger kids here on Pepsi Funtime Junior Bowling. This is the 12 and 13 girls. Jennifer Marty, boy, with a big 47-pin advantage over her opponent, April Armadas. And she gets off to a pretty decent start. Got a 105 average. Current average is 111. Her best game ever, a 174, and her high series is a 407. She's out of Depew High School and bowls at the Airport Center, where Dennis is her coach. 13-year-old ninth grader at Depew High School, the home of the Wildcats.
She ends up on the opposite foot.
Yep.
A little unique style there.
That'll happen sometimes. Here's the double-A, April Armadas from Franklin Middle School in the Kenton district.
Get over.
Oh, boy.
Good shot.
And what do you think she likes to play best? Football. Well, hey, you know, all over this great country of ours, girls are starting to play varsity football. There are 8 of them starting right now for high school teams in Football Mad, Texas. And April likes the grid sport. Pretty good bowler, too, if she gets that spare.
She just waited for the camera to go on.
Sure she was.
She didn't have a mark off camera.
Huh?
She had a kind of a rough start.
That's right.
And boy, she starts out with a 9 spare.
Jennifer Marty, though, with that big 47-pin advantage. Her mom, Ann, is here today. She's in the insurance field. Dad, Fred, by here, too. Does all the work for you, the 1-3-6-8. You know, when you're not as proficient at that as Mike is, why, it's a big help. I like the old way. I did. Sets it right up for you. I know those. Why did they do away with those, Mike?
Well, it's just for the sake of being a little fancier. Some of the newer machines with all the automatic scoring, sometimes on the
really
automatic scores, they show you what's left. And it's a lot of intricate wiring there too in the things.
Oh, I'll bet.
The bulbs go out, and probably a lot more expensive with all different bulbs and the wiring harnesses. And, what the heck is this?
Look at this. And we Jennifer Marty had a look in her face and say, well, I'm glad I didn't roll that one.
The 2, 6, 7, 10. That is.
You don't see that very often.
No, I think it's the first time.
You wouldn't want. I don't know if I've ever seen it, although you've done a lot more bowling than I have and seen a lot more.
I've never seen it made. Look at this shot.
Maybe. Oh! Do you believe it? Oh, we got to add our applause to that. We've never seen it. We've certainly never seen it made, and she goes out and makes it.
That is unbelievable. The 267 whatever.
What was that, the 26710?
Yes.
Well, she can tell her grandkids about that someday. And she made it on TV and down a bundle of pins. So go figure. Who needs bowling coaches, right?
That is unbelievable. That's the highlight.
We'll put that on our Pepsi Funtime highlight tape. Yep, the one we play at the Christmas
I've never
party.
seen, I mean, the only time you would see something like that is, you know, a kid's lightweight ball or something, and that was just an excellent shot.
Well, Jen Marty'd like to have that shot back. And here's the young lady who did it. She made the 2-6-7-10 split. The odd against that are probably what? Is they into one?
She liked that so much she's gonna get a strike.
Almost. Well, she almost had another split to convert.
Well, even, you know, such an exacting shot like that for a, you know, a 200 average bowler would be almost, you know, very difficult or impossible. And here's a young lady that's, you know, it's 110 average bowler and made that perfectly.
Well, she's up to 116 now, and I know her mom Marie and her dad Mike love that one.
Oh.
And then she goes the other way, and an open frame.
Jennifer is our winner in that match.
Yep, Jen Marty, but April Armitage gave us a lot of thrills. Now, it's Chris Zakta against Jason Keenan, and Chris has a 7-pin margin, so this will be a tight match. Remember, they bowl frames 1 through 7 off camera, and it's amazing. Some kids will do real well off camera, then come on and have butterflies with the TV lights, and some work the other way around. They need a little incentive. They'll get out there, and bingo, all of a sudden they'll catch on fire once the TV lights click on. Chris Zakta from St. Agatha's School, South Buffalo, 7th grade there.
Gotta go up. No, he's gonna get one.
Not gonna make it. So he's got to be careful as Jason Keenan steps up. Jason's parents, Barb and Walter, here. Barb works at Beechwood. And Jason gets himself a strike on 3.
Nice shot, Jason.
And he knew it the minute it left his fingertips.
Hey, that makes it a double. He had the strike in the... He knew he must have had a strike in that 7th frame off camera, so that's why it's a big double.
Now, Chris Zakta. No. Maybe that strike by Jason Keenan unnerved him a little bit. There's a look at the gallery. Can you tell who belongs to whom there? Isn't that always interesting? Try to match up the kids with their parents before you know the names. Chris lifetime high game 184 and a 400 high series.
Usually you can tell pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Get over. Beautiful.
Nice spare for Chris Zakta. Here's Jason Keenan from Heim Middle School in the Williamsville district. Doreen's his coach out at Transit. Likes baseball, mall card collecting, and don't forget bowling. Not a lot of count there. A lot of kids in that youth bowling program at Transit Lanes, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them. There's the behind-the-scenes look at the gallery. Whoops. Open frame for Jason. And this is going to be an interesting match with that close margin going into the 8th frame.
Well, that was a big frame for Jason because he was on a double and he lost a lot of count. Christopher with a good, you know, if he hits the head pin here with a good count. Uh-oh, he's going right.
Yep. They both have been doing that. You wonder why.
Well, he ended up getting 5 pins out. He actually got more count than Jason did on his last, you know, in the 9th frame. So he's at 162 in the 9th, and Jason has 156 in the 9th.
And that's the way it usually happens as we head down the home stretch of these matches on Pepsi Funtime. Chris's parents are Stan and Sheila.
Good spare. Yeah.
Oh. And they got to love that one here at Island Lanes. Zacta, spelled S-Z-A-C-H-T-A. Stan is retired now. He and Sheila can take it easy and watch the boy make him proud. Oops. It happens that way, moving west.
179, that's what the handicap's included. Jason Keenan actually needs 2 strikes in a row.
Possible? Anything is possible. Probable? Probably not.
Well, he did get a double in the 7th and 8th frames, but he throws it really kind of hard and a real high backswing, and sometimes the accuracy is not where you want it to be.
Got to have a couple of strikes.
There
He's got to come over. Oh boy. Well, he'd like to have that one back. Chris gives him a nice hand anyway. So the boys 12 and 13 went right down the channel there as far as Jason's concerned, but there will be other days and other matches. And by the way, you can be on Pepsi Funtime more than once. We've had several repeat performers, and he tried to drill them back. And we're going to take a look at our score sheet. And there's your winner, Chris, and we'll be back in just a minute with more Pepsi Funtime from Island Lanes on Empire Sports Network. Stay with us.
Hey, you made it!
Sometimes the best test of yourself is to team up with others. There's something about pulling together that helps you do better on your own. Maybe it's because your effort helped somebody else. Maybe it's because it's not necessarily over just because you have a bad night. Or maybe it's because you never stand taller than when you stand together. League bowling at BPAA centers. It's a whole lot more than a game.
You wouldn't think of doing this with your money, yet every year hundreds of local retailers fail to use advertising funds available from their suppliers. At Cable Media, we've helped retailers just like you create effective, affordable television advertising, sometimes paid 100% by manufacturers. We'll search out available funds, produce your commercial, and help process your co-op claim. Don't let your co-op dollars go up in smoke. Put them to work with our help. Just a phone call away at 827-1113.
Scotty's Furniture, a unique shopping experience in both quality used and new furniture. The only one of its kind in Buffalo. Gorgeous used and new dining rooms. Ultraflex living rooms on sale in assorted colors, as well as used living rooms. Sale on all Ashley bedrooms and occasional tables. We also buy your quality used furniture, any age, any style. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find at Scotty's.
We're back on Pepsi Funtime Junior Bowling, and this is Michelle Zaflarski with a 23-pin lead over Karen Durek. Michelle out of Sweet Home High School. She lives in Tonawanda. Sandy Pullman, her coach out at Sheridan, does a great job with the kids. Hey, nice way to get started. That'll pad that 23-pin lead. She's a senior at Sweet Home, by the way.
We just told them to get some strikes, and they did.
We got some. Yep. Karen Durek now with her work cut out for her.
Come on, Karen, get a strike.
Oh,
all right, nice try.
Almost. Gets a nice hand from the crowd. 120 average. Her best series a 425, and her lifetime high game is a 188. She's a great ice skater, plays basketball, runs track. Goes to St. Christopher's in Tonawanda, but lives in Pendleton.
Oh, it's stuck.
She'd like that spare, but she's not going to get it. Michelle Silfarski, whose mom and dad, Pat and Rick, are here today. Rick works for New York Telephone. And amazingly enough, has no hang-ups. Oh.
Whoa, look out.
No strike on that ball. This young lady has a 203 average and a high series, or a lifetime high game rather, was 203. And her high series, what does that say? 545, I guess.
Yeah, 545. And
yep.
Michelle's mom's a good bowler, too, Pat. She bowls over Tonawanda, I think, at least once. And
yep. She said she wants to bowl a 300 game like her Uncle Bill has
Bill
twice.
Silfarski has bowled a couple this season. It's a pretty good bowling family.
I guess so.
The grandfather bowls over at Tonawanda in the Schroeder Senior League, and he's bowled some pretty high 600s also. I don't know if he's done it this year yet, but I know last year he did.
Back to Karen. Her parents are here too, Sherry and Donna. Donna's birthday's today. Turned 39.
Well,
and as the saying goes, probably made a U-turn.
Yeah. How many times is that? 39.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's like the odometer on your car. Yeah. Whoa! Kicked it over, but not enough. And there's a look at some of the folks who've literally made this show and the participants possible. Back we go to Michelle Silfarski. She wants to study graphic arts design in college. Boom! Another strike for Michelle Silfarski, and I'll tell you right now, Uncle Bill, water watch it. She's right on his heels. That's the way to do it. What's that, little tattoo down there?
It sort of looks like it.
I think so. Good form. Very good form.
That's
but
left.
Not a very good result for Michelle Silfarski, who started with a 23-pin advantage. Look at the concentration there. She's determined to make this work. Now steps up.
Good spare. Beautiful.
I'll tell you, she's put on quite a show here today, Mike, and the crowd loves it. And Karen Durack, who's a very good bowler herself, faces the unenviable task of trying to catch her.
No, she can't.
That's why it's unenviable.
Michelle just bowled too good. She really, on camera, strike spare, so she wasn't camera shy, that's for sure.
Not at all. Talking to Karen Durack's dad before the show. He's got his own home building business, Landmark Building in Pendleton. Built some beautiful homes out in that area. Pendleton's one of the fastest growing towns, not only in Niagara County, but in western New York. So the ladies get a nice hand, and now it's time for the big guys. And when we're talking big guys, we're talking Timmy Surdick. Out of Rose Bowl. And things didn't exactly come up hearts and flowers there, but nevertheless, he's got it. His sister Heather has appeared on the show a couple of years ago, back in '91. I hope seriously next time you see your Pepsi retailer, let him or her know how much you appreciate these shows, because Pepsi makes it possible. Oops. Zinged a pin there. And his opponent will be Chris Slumba, who's got an 11-pin lead.
From South Transatlantic.
That's right.
Good shot here. All right.
Star Point Central, look out, that good old Spartan living. enables one to fire a strike.
Solid strike, too. That was.
Yep. Timmy Surdick now, who's an alternate in the Pepsi Crush League for Rose Bowl. You've probably noticed the hearing aid. He's hearing impaired and has not let that bother him one bit.
That's great. Hey, that's wonderful.
Not a bit.
Nice bear. Oh!
I'll tell you.
He almost chopped it. Nice shot.
Almost, as we come right back to Chris Slumba, whose aunt brought him up today. He's got brothers Matt and Jeff here. The folks are working, but we promised we'd say hello to everybody. Look at this. Left to 7. And only to 7. So we're moving right along here on Pepsi Funtime Junior Bowling on Empire. We're out at Island Lanes on Grand Island, right off Whitehaven Boulevard. You got to watch it. It's right next to the True Value hardware store. You really can't see it from the road. It's back on the lane.
Set back a little bit.
Yep.
Got a sign out front.
Yep.
Good shot there.
Nice spare for Chris Slumba from Star Point Central School in Pendleton. He's a freshman there. Tim Surdick's dad and mom, Joe and Alicia. Checking things out. Look at that. No problem.
Piece of cake.
Timmy goes to Campus East. His best game ever, a 218. His high series of 596. He likes cooking. I believe it. He looks like he could pack away a couple of pretty good lunches there. Remember when I used to be able to eat like that, huh?
Must be a good cook.
Oh, man, he is.
Hey.
Look at that. And he's got something cooking right now. Chris Slumba gives him a nice hand.
Double in the 10th. Hey, that's all you can ask for.
Surdick came into this match in the 8th frame, down 11 pins.
Which actually is going to be tough to, Chris is almost, he just needs to get a good count on his first ball. But Chris had a double in the 7th and 8th and then a 9 spare, so he really came on strong too.
Whoops.
177.
For Timmy Surdick, and here's Chris Slumba. And they're literally standing for him, huh?
Standing room only here at
right.
Island Lanes.
We're packing them in. Chris now. Very, very studious young man. You can just tell. Very deliberate and methodical. Takes a lot of time.
That's going to do it.
Yeah.
Fine.
That's all he needed. So, Chris Slumba. We'll knock off Timmy Surdick here. If you'd like to see our Pepsi Funtime Junior Bowling tapings, you can call Len Pim or his staff at Tonawanda Bowling Center at 694-4120. They'll let you know where to go and when.
We'll tell you where to go.
That's right.
All
He certainly will. We'll be back to talk with the winners when we come back at Pepsi Funtime from Island Lanes on Empire, the home of hometown heroes.
Sometimes the best test of yourself is to team up with others. There's something about pulling together that helps you do better on your own. Maybe it's because your effort helped somebody else. Maybe it's because it's not necessarily over just because you have a bad night. Or maybe it's because you never stand taller than when you stand together. League bowling at BPAA centers, it's a whole lot more than a game.
Hey, you made it!
So, do you like good, clean fun? Or would you rather play dirty? You can do it all in the classic four-wheel drive Jeep Cherokee Sport. It has a 190 horsepower engine. Shift on the fly, four-wheel drive, optional four-wheel anti-lock brakes, and air at no extra charge. And with savings like this, Cherokee Sport doesn't play hard to get.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
The biggest comeback in NFL history was orchestrated by Bills quarterback Frank Reich. And this season, you can catch him on his very own show on Empire Sports Network.
And on offense, I really feel as though we want to score early, get our fans into it, get the momentum going, and come up with the big plays.
It's the Frank Reich Show, Thursday nights at 7 on the home of hometown heroes, Empire Sports Network. The Frank Reich Show is brought to you by your local Jeep Eagle dealers, Bitterman's Automotive Centers, and Halfway Auto Parts.
Our winners, but of course they're all winners here on Pepsi Funtime Junior Bowling at Island Lanes. And speaking of winners, we got a couple of good ones. We'll talk with Chris in a minute. Michelle, you wrote on your bio sheet you wanted to do this for Uncle Bill, who'd already rolled a couple of 300 games. You keep up those strikes, you'll be doing one pretty soon, huh?
I hope so.
Oh, I hope so too. How long have you been bowling?
5 years.
5 years. What got you started, Uncle Bill?
No, sorry. My mom bowls. She's a real good bowler. My whole family bowls.
Yep. Well, you've got a graphic arts design career in mind.
Yeah, I love art.
Well, you love art, and I'll tell you, some of those strikes were works of art today. Nice going. Chris, you had just a little bit of an advantage coming up, but not much. This one went right down to the wire. Did you get a little nervous out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you combat the nerves out here under the TV lights?
Just try thinking you're normal bowling.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Forget about everything else except what you have to do. How about you? You got some years left before you get out of high school. Thinking about maybe a stop on the pro bowling tour?
I don't know. I don't think I'm good enough.
You don't think you're good enough? I do, because you won one under the TV lights, and there are a lot of pro bowlers who've never done that. They're all champs, and of course, next week we'll come back to Island Lanes and do it all over again. For Mike Haynes, I'm Cliff Smith. See you next time. Pepsi Fun Time on Empire Sports Network. So long, everybody.
Pepsi Funtime is brought to you by